Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here to talk about one of my most favorite things, and of course that is BlackBerry. If you followed my channel for any period of time or seen any of my most recent videos, you know that I am a fan of BlackBerry and the BlackBerry mobile devices as well. Now I'm here today to talk to you about the BlackBerry KEYone and a little bit about how well it's performing in 2020. Now, this phone came out 2.5 years ago, I know, because it's the very first phone that I ever reviewed. It's the very first unboxing I ever did. It's the very first video I ever did. So the day I got my BlackBerry KEYone, I came home, I shot my unboxing video with my BlackBerry, actually shot it with my Porsche device back then, the P9983. Great phone too. So here we are with the BlackBerry KEYone, the Black Edition. So this one was an upgrade over the original KEYone, and mostly it just had extra storage, and it has the extra gigabyte of RAM in it. So 4 gigabytes of RAM as opposed to 3, which is really important because the BlackBerry user interface takes up so much memory, it slows down the performance of the phone. So 3 gigs just wasn't enough for the original KEYone. This Black Edition fires on all cylinders, and it is much better. But enough about this now. I don't want to spoil all the surprises. Before I go farther in the video, I do want to say, if this is your first time stopping by, thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for watching this video. If you like the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you can get updates on the latest and greatest. Now let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at this phone and see how well it holds up in 2020. All right, so taking a look at the BlackBerry KEYone in 2020, I was actually using iPhone 11 Pro Max as my daily driver before I switched over to this. So if you're wondering and saying, "Oh, he's just been using a BlackBerry phone for a long time. This is rubbish. I don't buy into this." I use a Samsung Galaxy Fold, which I have right here. And then my wife is actually using my 11 Pro Max now because I've been using this. So she decided to take over that phone. So I've been using this for an entire week now, and I really haven't had any heartburn. The only thing I miss is my Apple Watch. But other than that, it works really well. The speaker's good, the camera's good, the keyboard is phenomenal. When I first got my original KEYone back in 2017 now, um, I I didn't like the keyboard that much, and then when the Key 2 keyboard came out, I was like, man, the Key 2 keyboard is way better. And then getting this back again, and I had my Key 2 as well, so don't worry, there's going to be more videos on that as well. But I'm really leaning back towards the KEYone keyboard. I like it has nice rigid buttons. I like the spacing. I like there's no bars really between them. It's not as elongated as the Key 2, and also using it as a trackpad just feels better with these these more these plasticky buttons. They have a different texture. These have more of like a matte finish texture on them, and there's a little bit more spacing between the keys than I would like. So on the KEYone, it just kind of feels very smooth and fluid whenever you're using it for the capacitive features, so you can do all your scrolling and stuff. So that's kind of cool. um, Otherwise, the screen is exactly the same as the Key 2. It has a modified 1080p resolution. It's not the greatest in the world as far as brightness and contrast. It's very doable, but if you're used to other phones, and you're gonna probably miss out on the higher contrast and the better color saturation and stuff like that. But if you're a BlackBerry enthusiast and you like BlackBerry, this video is mainly geared towards you because I'm looking at this from a enthusiast perspective because I like BlackBerry. And is this something that I would be willing to recommend somebody to use in 2020? I would definitely say yes, with a couple little asterisks here along the way. One of those being the security features on here. So the security has not been updated since April of 2019. Now, taking a look at the Key 2, it was last updated in December of 2019. So there's not a 2020 patch on either of them. And I think that's indicative of the status of the TCL license. I don't know if we're going to see anymore. And as far as they're concerned, the KEYone may have seen end of life already for them. But overall, the performance is still good. It's something that you can still use in 2020. Games work, just fine for the most part. I tried playing like Mario Kart, and yeah, it has its moments. It's a little on the choppy side every once in a while, but it's definitely playable. Boom Beach, perfectly fine. Alto, perfectly fine. The camera, it has the same camera that the original Pixel had in it, so I actually kind of give a nod to the KEYone when it comes to the camera. They put a little bit more into that than I think the Key 2 or the Key 2 LE. Now you don't get the portrait shots because it doesn't have the depth sensor on the back, so you don't have that, or a dual camera setup. So you don't get the bokeh effect shots, but you can still take some pretty decent pictures. And the funny thing is they actually look better looking at them on something else than the screen, because the screen on the KEYone is really not all that great. I mean, it's perfectly adequate, and it works fine, but you're not going to get the true depth and appeal and appearance of the photos that you take that you would looking at them on something else, like say a computer monitor on another phone. Other than that, you're really not missing out on anything. The keyboard is just as functional as ever, and it seems to have held up pretty well. I haven't been using this one for 2 years. I've been using this one for a week, but it has broken in nicely, and I've really been enjoying typing on it. Now, it does require quite a bit of force to type on. I'm hoping that will still loosen up some over time. The Key 2 is very much more on the loose side, and it's much easier to press the keys. So if I could find a way to blend the key press density, or whatever you want to call it, the amount of pressure you have to use to actuate the button, if I could take this keyboard but make it a little softer to press, kind of like the Key 2, I think it would probably be ideal. But otherwise, the hardware is still good, the camera is still good, the overall performance I find is perfectly fine. I mean, I'm not really missing out on anything. Now, it would be nice, I kind of miss iMessage, but that's not the end of the world. I didn't talk to a whole lot of people on Apple. It's kind of like my secondary phone. But this one, yeah, you lose that anyway if you use any other Android. So I can't say that's really a ding against BlackBerry per se, but overall, you can still get all the apps you want. You can still get all the streaming services you could possibly want, and it still works just fine. I mean, it's Android 8.1. A lot of other phones now are running Android 9. A lot of the main flagships are upgraded to Android 10. I don't think we're ever going to see Android 9 or 10 with the BlackBerry mobile devices. So the license is going to end on August 31st of this year, so I don't anticipate that this is going to move forward any farther, but it should still be good for a couple of years, I think. A lot of people that are BlackBerry users typically hold on to them for a long time. I recently made a BlackBerry Priv video, and a lot of people are still using the BlackBerry Priv, even today, or wish that they still did. So if BlackBerry is watching this, please make another Priv phone. That would be really nice. The slider is great, but overall, BlackBerry users tend to hold on to their phones for a long time because they haven't really made a whole lot. And of course, we get stuck loving the devices that we've been using, like the BlackBerry 10 devices or even the Priv. And of course, now the KEYone and the Key 2. So still excellent, still very worthwhile. If you like BlackBerry, I think you're going to be very happy with it, especially since you can pick them up for like, 199, $200 or whatever on Amazon. As far as picking up the Black Edition, it's a more limited edition phone. I don't know about the pricing on it or where you can get one. I don't really think they're selling a whole lot of these anymore. I mean, BlackBerry's not selling them. So if you get one, it's going to have to be, on a resale like Amazon or eBay, somewhere like that. You can still get Key 2s and Key 2 LE some places. This one's a little bit harder to find, but totally a great phone. And I still recommend it, even today, if you're a BlackBerry enthusiast. And you're talking about, let's say if you're using a Priv, this is the perfect one to bump up to, I think. I think this is very much in line with something that you would enjoy versus using the Priv. And if you are using a BlackBerry 10 device, if you like to carry two lines, or if you're considering finally jumping ship since the App Store is pretty much dead, if not dead already, and it's been on life support for a long time, this is a nice jump off point to transition into the Android world. It works very well. And it does everything that you need to. It's great for communication. It's great for typing. It's great for pretty much everything. I mean, everything that you still love about BlackBerry, you still get in this phone. So I don't feel like the experience is diminished at all, and I like it a lot. So that's all I've got on the BlackBerry KEYone. Still a good phone in 2020. Still very usable. The only thing you're really missing out on is, of course, they haven't updated the security patch in quite a while. We're coming up on a year. So BlackBerry's been one of those things for years where it's like security, 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 and they talked about monthly security updates. But I guess 2 years was the end of life for this guy when it came to that. So any emerging security threats that might be out there, you may not be as well protected. But other than that, that's pretty much the only letdown over the last 2.5 years since this phone came out. So still good. Still kicking, still has great performance, a great communicator tool, and all the wonderful features you've always loved about BlackBerry. So that's all I have on this video. If you like the video, please hit the like and subscribe button and the little notification bell so you get updates on the latest and greatest. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you being here. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.